Welcome to Heartburn 00. Today we're going to show you how to import your designs into Cricut Design. Well, I'll be showing you two designs. The first one's going to be a SVG file, a scalable vector graphic, and the other one's going to be a JPEG, a bit more simple, that one. Also, I will show you how to set up your own custom material settings for the Cricut Design cutter machine as well. I will put in a little link into the timeline as well, so if you want to skip across each section you can do so at your own leisure. So over to the computer now and we'll show you how to import your designs. I've opened up a brand new project in Tinkercad. Click on box, bring it across, set it down there. I'll make it some sizes. I'll make it 152mm across. I'll make the width 78mm. This is going to be the base for my new building I'm building on the layout. For the height, it's not critical how you set the height, but I like to keep it to 1mm. I say again, it's not critical, the height part. So let's move that up out of here. Now we'll go put some text in. And the text button there, and we'll call the text Heartburn double. Now you can change the font. There's not a great deal of fonts you can choose from it. The Sans, I've got the Sans Mono, and also got the Serif. So we'll select that one, I think. Right across here. With the text, we'll just make it a bit simple. We'll keep the settings down to something reasonable, 160, we'll call that 21. We'll give it a name as well up here, we'll call it import. I highlight the box first to export it. I go up to export. Now for laser cutting with the Cricut Design machine, you want to use it as a SVG file. So click that and it'll export it as import. I'll also do the same for the text, and this time when I export it, it should be called import number 1. What is important before you go into Tinkercad is you take a note of your sizes. Tinkercad has got, I wouldn't call it a bug, but it's got a little annoying habit of resizing your own designs. So just take a note of it, 152 by 78, and the text is 21 by 160 or 160 by 21. So over to Cricut Design, I've opened it up and I'm going to make a new project. In the new project over here, it's got this little upload part. If you click on upload, then you want to upload an image. So browse, it goes into where you put your files. Mine's is kept in download there. The first one's a simple box, is the import. Open that and then we'll save. So once you've got the image uploaded there, highlight it, insert image. I'll bring it across here so you can see it. In the images there, it has converted it to its own size for some strange unknown reason. There have been quite a few comments on the forum and various websites about this. This is in centimetres. If you're working in imperial, you go to your settings, and in your settings you can set it to imperial or metric. Bear in mind the metric settings is in centimetres, not millimetres, as Tinkercad works in millimetres, not centimetres. So when you convert it to your size, you need to put in the decimal point in the right place. Up here where it says size, we should only change one size as it is locked in place. So if I go up to there, I put in 15.2 centimetres, that will change the other size to 7.8, which is what I want. If it wasn't the size you wanted in there, you need to unlock it and then you can change individual sizes. So that's me got that one. Now I'm going to import the text. So upload image, browse, and this time we put the text in, import, open. We'll save it, highlight the text, insert image, and once again it will change the size to what it wants, not what you want. So bring it across here, and we'll back up there. In the size part again, I'll change the size. I should only change one part. It should be 160mm by 21mm, or in centimetres, 16 centimetres. Press enter and it changes it to 2.1, which I wanted. The next file I want to bring across is a image. Now, being a railway orientated there, I go to upload. If I upload an image, browse, and this time I've got to my desktop, I've kept it in YouTube, and I've downloaded a little file called a turnout. It's a JPEG file. So if I open that up, the file comes here. So if I go to complex, continue. If I cut it now, it cut out just the square. Let's see, if I continue, that's what I cut out. I don't want that. I want to cut out the foam part of the railway, i.e. if I was going to cut out a bit of foam for my underlay. So if I go back, this time I've got up to this point here, and there's things we can do. We can crop it, we can erase it, or we can select and erase. And that's the one I want, select and erase. I click on that, click on the foreground of the part I don't want. It makes it putting these wee checkered flags, which means it is now not going to cut that. So now I've got to continue. This is what's going to cut out, this part here, which is the part I want. Now, it's quite important how you save it. You can save it as a print or you can save it as a cut image. I want to save it as a cut image. This one here, save. Highlight the image, go to insert images, and there it is. So they're all set as cuts. Let's go over and cut one. I'm not going to cut them all, I'm just going to cut one. So for the moment, I'll remove the image I don't want, and I'll just select the one I want. Before you start cutting, switch on your Cricut machine and you need to move this dial. If you want to do your custom settings, make sure the dial is set to custom. Once it's on custom, then you can go into the Cricut design software again and put in your own settings. So go to make it, continue, and I go to browse all materials. In there you've got all the stock materials in there, and there are quite a few in the settings. If you wish to do your own material settings, click on material settings. If you go right down to the bottom, all the way down to the bottom, add new material, and we'll call that import, and save. Now if I go to import, I can set up some settings. I can set how hard to push down the material. If you're doing multiple cuts, it's not advisable to press down really hard because the material can sometimes shift off it. So 270 was fine. In this part here it says off, you can do multiple cuts. So for quite thick material you could do up to 9 cuts. So it just goes across it 9 times to try and get through the thickness of the material. It really depends on the material you're cutting and a wee bit of experimenting, 2 times, 3 times, etc. If I set it to 4 times an hour for styrene, for example, and I want to go for a deep blade as well, I'll set it at this point here. Once I selected the deep point blade, it automatically kicks back the pressure to this point here. So same again, you can increase it to what you want. I'm saying again, it's not advisable to go really hard when you try to do a deep cut. So really a bit of experimenting will decide where you want it. So you save that, and that puts it in to your imported files. If you wanted to go in there and change it again, you just click on the edit button and you come in here and you can do your multiple times, for example, and it just changes it to whatever you want. Well, that's how to import your own designs into Cricut, the way I do it anyway. If you like, please put a wee like down below, subscribe, or even a wee comment would be appreciated. Thanks for your time, folks. Catch you again soon. Goodbye.